Hello.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Aisha. Can you see me?
Yes, I do.
Do you see the background?
Yeah, it looks so fancy.
Yeah, it's really cute, isn't it? It makes it more lively. Yeah, but I can see you though. Your camera is not working.
Oh, really?
Mm,
Sorry. I turned it on. Okay. Yeah, I have my own chair right now.
yeah. Yeah. Well, when you have the background, when it's a virtual background, then you get to be, immersed into this background like mine. Because I have that virtual background, but you don't. It's fine. It's still
Oh.
quite handy. Yeah. So how have you been?
Actually, because I told you I failed the interview. So
I
yeah,
know. I
I
saw it.
feel
I'm sorry to hear
uh,
that.
it's all right because I feel a little bit down, but I think it's a great experience because I have an interview for 7 years, as you know. So I think it's a great start. At least I can pass till the third steps. I should still feel proud of myself because
Yeah, you should feel proud of yourself because it's been 7 years.
it's been 7 years and the recruiters gave me some positive feedback. So I
Very
still
good.
feel, yeah, I did something right, but probably I'm not like meet their requirement, but it's not my fault. Probably I can
It's not
improve
anyone's
more.
fault.
Yeah, yeah, because like I haven't, I would say uh the Uber recruiter came to me first. I didn't apply at the first on the first step. So I would think I would just take it as a surprising adventure.
It is.
Yeah, because
And it
I
took you about 2 weeks to get to
yeah,
this space, right?
yeah, it's really I also learned from that because like I haven't been through this kind of like interview and for such a big company. And right now I know what kind of procedures, and I think it's a great experience though.
Yeah, it is. Well, and can help to feel down. I mean, it's a very normal emotion we could have, no matter what job it is. Even if it's a job we don't really fancy that much, but nobody wants to fail.
Yeah, it's very true, very true. Because like I just want to like make myself like, oh, I'm a valuable person, but when I know when they call me said I'm sorry, unfortunately you didn't get in, I feel like I'm not valuable on that moment.
So
But
how long did that emotion last?
I think at least for one day. So after that, I put myself all together. Think, yeah, just keep on, just carry on. It's not finished. It's not end of the world.
Exactly. It's still the old saying here. Keep
Yeah,
calm, carry on.
yeah, exactly. Because I feel like 24 times being a flight attendant. So I think just failed once for the new job hunting is not a big deal though.
But was it exciting? I mean, when you were still in phase 1 and 2, was it something really interesting for you to, brush your skill of interview?
Yeah, I think it's pretty like refresh and interesting because I never thought it would be so quick. And I always say I haven't prepared much for the phase one and phase two, but I get it. So I'm pretty surprised. And yeah, so yeah, for the phase three, I think I should prepare more.
So phase 3. So yeah, this is maybe a good time to review or reflect on what has gone wrong. Not really wrong, but you know what I mean. And probably it's just that, you know, maybe the personal, we say, your characters or something that they don't quite need yet, but it's not like your fault because they must have admired something that you have got from your profile. So
Yes,
they wanted to meet you in person. So that was a panel of 2.
yeah.
So what did they ask you?
So they asked for the first one. they asked me very basic information like why I want to apply for this job and
Yeah.
a brief introduction of myself. So the first one is very quick. I think probably around 10 minutes. Like what any like special like personal experience in flight or anything can like relate to the safety issue. And I also share my own experience of being sexual harassment. So I think that one really impressed the recruiter because I deal with the situation pretty well. I think so. So I think I got an empathy vote. I got empathy. So she said, oh, she felt sorry to hear about this story. And yeah, and then she said, oh, she will arrange another interview for me. So, something like that. So yeah. A lot of time I'm pretty confident. Oh, so they like my stories. So I just think about some stories I might use during the next interview, but you know, sometimes they just came out with different questions you never expect.
Excuse me. It's interview Q&A.
Yes, and also the scenario questions, like you have to imagine if you are the customer service, how will you deal with like an emergency incident. So it's like not only test my English ability, I think they want me to solve the problem. Even though I did explain the procedure, like how I handle the situation. However, I think they are not satisfied of my answer. I think they have their certain answers.
Do you think they have a fixed answer?
I think they have a fixed answer. So the recruiter told me my safety question about the scenario didn't pass. That's the main point. But they did enjoy my experience. They did appreciate it, and they like my personality. English ability is meet their level as well. But I think I just failed on the safety question.
So it only took you 24 hours to get rid of that negative emotion of not passing the interview. So that's quite quick.
Yeah, I have to like keep myself busy, like because my friend just try to comfort me, like it's okay, just you, because like originally I want to become a headhunter, so you just get distracted from other things. So actually you just have to move on and prepare for how to become a headhunter again. I said, yeah, you're right. Because I
mentioned about, you did mention about being a headhunter previously, and also you said you're gonna receive some training, or you're gonna take some examination, certification training, something like that.
Yes, I did, but yeah, because like
Would that be on a daily basis?
Basically they give us online courses. Yes, it should be like a real class, but since the pandemic happened, so every classes be canceled, so I have to learn online.
So everything's virtualized.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how long will that last, that training?
I think probably 3 weeks if I can finish. Actually, you can just like follow your own pace. So but because like the exam should be held in July. I'm not sure it will be canceled or not, but I think I should concentrate on the examination first.
So you think it's going to take you roughly about 3 weeks. And so are you going to do the study on a daily basis?
Oh, yes, I should study ahead, actually.
So you think that's a lot to take, is it?
Yeah, because like it's including a lot of like laws, like about the labor, or a lot of like about the insurance. It's a lot of things you have to remember, like the teacher said it's required at least 3 months to prepare, but I only prepare for 1 month.
I think they call that what's that? Full function HR. They call that this. What is that? Oh, so it's a general role in HR department. They call that full function. Human resources specialist.
Yeah.
SPCIALIST. Yeah, so full function means you have to touch everything. And is that something you're still interested?
Maybe not in this position, but just because it would be great to get the certificate. So I still have to study.
So it's the essential, the essential plan.
It's not the essential training. I just think it would be nice to get it, so I can prove myself why I'm interested in this position. If I have this kind of certificate, they will have no doubts I'm really interested in this position. It's like a plus. It's not a must.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So you're back in your parents' house now.
Actually, I'm still in my mom's apartment because I feel it's more. I have more freedom to stay by myself.
So actually, you're still living alone. You're not living together with them.
Yeah,
also,
I try.
So she has a house out of where she lives, and this is her investment or something, and she's allowing you to use it.
Yeah, because my parents they were divorced, so my mom had another house in Kaohsiung, and my dad and my brother they stay together in New Taipei City, Xindian. So
so there's 3 of them.
Yeah. So yeah, basically I should stay with my dad and my brother, but 2 men they live together. The house just like people. So yeah, so I went back to have one night, and I feel very disappointed and very tiring because I'm the one to clean up, and I don't like these kind of feelings. I don't like they take it for granted.
And yeah, I know what you mean. You know, like guys, they can be quite grumpy.
Yeah,
it's not quite much translated that. It could be, you know, it's not like they're emotional, but it means not so easy to get along with. Sometimes they're difficult to deal with. Sometimes they're just too sluggish. So it's a combination of everything. And
yeah,
so,
exactly.
you know, as a female, we like our place to be tidy and neat, and we like things to be organized, but probably guys are not quite like that.
Exactly. And I share the bathroom with my brother, and it's a disaster.
You're trying to be nice by saying it's a mess, right?
It's a mess. So I want it to be out of sight, out of mind. If I leave my original home, my original room, and I think I just stay in my mom's apartment, I would be happier to have the quality life.
Well, like my life here is kind of like that. I live with 2 boys, one big, one small. The big one is my husband, and the small one is my son, the younger one. Yeah, and guys are not so organized compared to female, but they're okay. They're under control, but just sometimes you feel like, you know, like a total chaos or it's a big mess from time to time. Not all the time. You have to put up with it.
Yeah,
because you live together.
So I think being a mom is really great job. I mean, you guys are amazing. Because now I realize, wow, how my mom sacrificed herself, like, to taking care of us.
It's the toughest job in the world.
I know, I know. So I really miss my mom. I say, well, mom, you're the best.
Because we're on duty 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
That means all day long and all year long. It's 24/7, and you go to you go to bed in your office, and you
Yeah,
wake up in your office. Imagine that feeling is just like, well, like when you fly and you have a crew bunk, you're kind of
yeah,
like off duty when you can, put your hair down, or,
yeah,
take off remove your makeup, put a facial mask on your face and have a 1 to 2 hours rest. It's not your duty time. You can rest, but you're still kind of on duty. You're
yeah,
still in the plane, but just in a small space without passengers around you, but your colleagues are still there. So it's still like sleeping in your office somehow, right?
yeah, exactly.
And there's that similar feeling as being a mom.
Yeah, and I really recall like the memories I live when I stay with my mom, because I don't need to worry about what to eat. I don't need to do a laundry, and my mom will even prepare the food after the meal. And I feel like, oh, I just like a princess. I don't need to like even like to move. I just sit there, and my mom will offer me, oh, like let's eat some food. How about some blah blah blah? She will
Well,
like voluntary to do everything for me.
being a mom, we always think of our family, especially our children. I want to say, children first and then husband, but when your kids are still small, you kind of, you know don't really like that word sacrifice, but you kind of
Yeah.
forget about yourself. You're not thinking you're
Mm,
even sacrificing yourself.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
actually putting yourself into somebody else's feet all the time, to think for them, to do for them, to plan for them, to worry for them. It's like you're worrying for yourself. But then, of course, because kids are from us. But then again, they they're different individuals when they grow to a semi-mature age. Like my son is 14 in the UK. That's taken as an adult.
Mm,
Yeah, and so that means they're a young adult, and we have to learn to respect, learn to let go. It's not easy. Very difficult. It's very difficult. It's not
mm.
because moms are control mania. We're not, but you've been living in a life of caring so much for over a decade. A decade is 10 years, and my experience, that's 14 years, and I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, definitely. Even though your kids become like 30s or 40, you still worry about him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like when my mom came back to my family, well, she was a monk, Buddhist monk. She lived in the temple. She was suffering from mental illness that time for many years, and eventually she came back to my family to attend my father's funeral. But unfortunately, she had an accident, so she slipped on the wet floor. Then ever since that, 2 weeks after that, she was paralyzed 90%, 95% up to this point. So she could only control her head. She could not fully control her limbs, hands and legs, feet, arms, body, just her head. So it was very difficult, but she was still thinking because her mind was still active. So she was still thinking and caring and worrying for me and my brother. And I was a grown up already. So no matter how old we grow, our moms are still moms. So
Yeah.
mom role is so different than dad role. Motherhood is 24/7, all life long.
Yeah,
Dads
I
are kind of
know.
different.
It's very different. I
Yeah.
know that, yeah, I know my parents, no matter like dad or mom, they do love me, but yeah, the way they show is totally different.
Yeah, but again, when our children grow to a certain age, we have to learn to let go. And their age is adolescence. And adolescence is when they're facing their teenage time. So adolescence is also called puberty. Puberty. Yeah, puberty. Yeah, okay. So excuse me.
Bless
I have to
you.
mute myself, or else I'm gonna blow your eardrum. Oops, what is that? There. All right, so I don't want to blow your eardrum.
No worries.
Drum. Yeah. I don't want to blow your eardrum, so sorry, I had to mute myself. That's not right. So that's, how do we translate that? 吹破。
震破耳膜。
Yes, 震破，谢谢。
震破耳膜。
Because that translation is awful, so I've got to write it. Yeah. Sorry. And we went barbecuing yesterday, so probably it's the smoke that has got my husband, so he's been sneezing all day.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
the barbecue sounds so nice.
Yeah, the first time in 2 years.
Oh, exactly.
And difficult because COVID-19, we were not allowed to go out, but now we are, it's great. So we went for the first barbecue in the last, I think 700 days.
So do you invite your friends?
No, it's just a small family bubble. Yeah, only the 3 of us. Yeah, still safer that way.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Also because it was too rushed. So we only had enough for my family, but it's like a rehearsal. So we have done it again after such a long time. Now we know, hey, it's not as difficult as we thought. Now, in the past, we had to prepare so much, many little bits, cutleries and plates and marinated meat, different types of meat like chicken wings, chicken drums, and blah, blah, blah. And that takes a lot of time from moms to prepare. I'm a very blessed woman. My husband is very, very loving, caring, and responsive and helpful. He's very supportive. So he did some preparation when I was busy. So when I showed up, I only had to do the last part. So I'm pretty lucky.
Oh, that's very, very sweet of him.
Yeah, I like to say I'm a very blessed woman. There should be another. Yeah, that is okay, but I like to say 蒙福 better than 幸福. Slightly different, but the same word, because I'm a Christian. So when I say blessed, yeah, it means my blessing is from God, from Jesus, and the blessing is given to me unconditionally. I don't deserve it, but I get it. So I'm not just lucky. Lucky is depending on good luck, good fortune. Yeah, or sometimes superstition, but blessing is different. Blessing is purely from God, from your faith. So this is something I'm something I'm trying to hold on to. So it's great. So I like to say I'm a blessed woman. That is not quite 幸福, but 蒙福. Yes. Yes. Similar, but anyway, good. So we have had a good chat and about your job seeking, and although it was a tiny setback, but you are really, really strong. You can bounce back very fast within 24 hours. That's really good. That shows how how good the quality you have in there.
Thank you.
You don't get beaten up by one tiny failure, or we say a success yet experience, and you have got through to the final stage. That's really good. That's good enough. That's the very first interview, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
hopefully I don't need to go through for 24 times this.
You won't, trust me, you won't need that.
Because I will be bankrupt because I haven't received the money from cafe yet. I need money.
When are they? Well, what's the promised time? When are they giving that?
Cause they should, cause like it's quite complicated. Cause I'm the one who is outside of Hong Kong to make a progress of everything. So probably my procedure will take longer than other people.
Do they
But-
do they ask you to use an HSBC account?
Oh,
I mean your salary account?
Oh yes, exactly. Our company account is HSBC, and if I have to turn all my money back, and especially for the retirement assets, I have to make a vow. Like for example, oh, I will leave Hong Kong forever, so I can take the whole money back to Taiwan. But there's a certain procedures. I have to apply a lot of documents and send the document to Hong Kong government. I think it's like back and forth for probably it will take months.
So, well, it's not too long to wait for then.
Yeah, hopefully. But for my colleagues' information, they were set of coup. They be fired last year, in October. Some of them they got the money, maybe like 3 or 4 months later.
Sorry, I'm trying to give you something else, but it's giving me gali. Leg. Li. I don't want that li. Yeah, maybe that is a better one. Yeah, so it's leg.
Colleague.
Yeah, it's a colleague. So remember
Colleague.
just to put your stress on that.
Colleague.
Yeah, and that's a very important word because when you become an HR or a headhunter, this word is used every single day.
I
So
too.
make sure you do it right. Yeah, good. Yeah, so I'll take that off. And let's get back to our aviation English. And
Sure.
so before we dive into this video, can you share with me your feeling? It's been 3 days of being an ex-cabin crew.
I didn't think much about it, but I did feel like, what if I didn't resign? What if I didn't resign? I just applied for 1 year unpaid. So probably I won't be so anxious if I get failed like the interview. Probably I will feel better. Sorry, I have to pick up the phone.
Yeah, no problem.
喂，你好。我是。对，好，好。对，不好意思，那如果是这样的话，对不起，因为我现在有其他的 meeting，你们可不可以过几天再打给我，或是明天再打 ？OK 哈，好，谢谢，拜拜。
You know what? You need to mute yourself. Are you all right? Oh, you're muted. Sorry, I muted you.
No worries. Sorry, I just picked up the phone.
Yeah, I just gave you something there. Can you see it? There.
Yeah.
So you have to pick up, not pick out. Yeah, pick up.
Pick up.
Or answer a phone or phone call. Yeah, a lot of people would just say a call rather than a phone call, but don't say pick up a phone. Pick up a phone is to pick up a phone from the ground. So it's kind of different. Yeah, so pick up a call, pick up a phone call, or answer a phone call.
Okay.
And yeah, good. Oh, by the way, thank you for referring your friend Sid. Yeah, he has joined our site. He was actually planning to join this lesson, but he's still not showing up yet. So.
Oh, really? I have no idea of it because
he said you referred him.
Oh, he said that? I didn't.
Yeah, he said so.
Okay. Yeah, because we are the interview partner. So
I see.
He practiced the interview for me. I do the same thing. But yeah, sometimes he's very busy. He is.
Yeah, he says he's is he an engineer? He's working for a technical company.
He's a project manager.
Technology company, does he mean that? Not technical company.
technology company.
Yeah, so because he gave me a technical company, so I was kind of thinking what kind of technical company that would be. So it's a technology company in Taipei, I guess.
New Taipei City. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know,
New Taipei
for
City.
me, New Taipei City is also Taipei. So what is the difference?
Well, cause like you know, like New Taipei City is like it's outside Taipei, but you know, like if Taipei people they really say, oh, I'm from Taipei. But if I'm not from Taipei, I'm from New Taipei City, I would say, oh, I'm from New Taipei City, because like they really like distinguish, like, oh, they are different. These two areas are different.
Huh. Okay, you know, because I have no orientation at all, honestly. When I was in Taiwan, I got lost very easily. So I always rely on Google. And so for me, no matter is so-called New Taipei City or Taipei, for me is Taipei. Anyway,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So the pronunciation is this. If you want to say Bei, then you need to use Chinese accent, Taipei.
Okay.
And if you want to say it in English, you say Taipei because it's P-E-I. So we
Okay.
don't say Taipei.
Taipei.
That is a mix of both. Yeah, Taipei
Yeah.
or Taipei. And well, I was born in Taipei.
Oh.
I was born in Nangang. No,
Oh.
Songshan, Nangang. Songshan or Nangang? Yeah, wait. I was born in, no, I was born, not sure. I was born in Taipei anyway, either Taipei or Songshan, Songshan or Nangang. Maybe Nangang, because I grew up in Nangang. But I kind of remember my childhood was partly spent in Songshan. Too long ago. Anyway, yeah. So you may see him because he has planned to join us, and I think his English might be quite fluent.
He studied abroad. He studied a graduate school in US.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's interacting bilingual, so I'm not sure whether he's you know, he has a good command of English or he needs Chinese. But what I could see is that he's trying to use English too. Anyway, so let's see. You may see him in the lesson anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. So let's get back. We still have about 20 to 25 minutes here, and
Okay.
let's review your old life. Yeah, my 7
Yeah.
years and your 7 years. A long time ago and just recently. Right, so
Actually,
we're going to talk about, yeah.
I have no idea you also fly for 7 years. I think you are like flying more than 10 years.
No, 7 years with Eva. That's the very beginning. Yeah, and later on in the UK, but I didn't count the time though.
Oh, I see.
And right, so let's get back. So aviation English. So 8 airplane safety features you didn't know existed. And who knows, maybe you've got to know all already. So let's take a look at this. And just a second, I want to make sure I'm giving you the right function. So there. So this is there. Good. And the bigger one there. Well done. Let's begin.
This is the bathroom door on an
Is it starting?
Yes.
airplane, and it can save your life. Not because it's the only thing standing between you and the guy that ate an airport burrito before he got on board. It actually has a hidden safety feature. Can you figure it out? In case of an emergency that requires the pilot to land on the water, you'll be grateful for these little yellow hooks. The number and placement of hooks on each wing vary from plane to plane, but they all do the same thing: help passengers to safety. They're an anchor for rope.
Sorry, my video is frozen right now.
Go back again and just a second. I'll use wait. I'll use full screen. It's a full screen now. Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I'll play again. Just a second.
It's the
Can you
bathroom
see it
door
now?
on an airplane, and it can save your life.
Yes, yes,
Not
I
because
do.
it's the only thing between you and the guy that ate an airport burrito before he got on board. It actually has a hidden safety feature. Can you figure it out? In case of an emergency that requires the pilot to land on the water, you'll be grateful for these little yellow hooks. The number and placement of hooks on each wing vary from plane to plane, but they all do the same thing: help passengers to safety. They're an anchor for ropes, which passengers use to steady and pull themselves across the wing, especially during a water landing. The ropes and hooks can also be used to tether rafts to the plane so they don't float away as passengers board. Let's say your plane does depressurize. You know the drill. Pull down on the mask to extend the tube, cover your nose and mouth with the yellow cup, and always put your own mask on first. But wait, why do you have to pull down on the mask? It's not to reach your face. It's actually to start a chemical reaction. There are no oxygen tanks on airplanes. They're just too heavy and bulky to be practical. Instead, the panel above your head contains a chemical oxygen generator. It's a small canister that holds sodium chlorate, barium peroxide, and a pinch of potassium perchlorate. And when all three mix together, the extremely hot chemical reaction lets off oxygen. Your seat cushion functions as a flotation device, but did you know it's also fireproof? Let's take this back a few decades. During a 1967 test for the first Apollo moon mission, 3 astronauts were killed when the interior of the capsule caught on fire. An investigation showed that the craft was filled with highly flammable materials, including the foam in the seat cushions. This led NASA to conduct a whole slew of research for a way to cover flammable things with a fire-resistant material. So in 1984, the Federal Aviation Administration issued new regulations regarding the flammability of airplane seats. And in fact, it's estimated that 20 to 25 lives are saved each year because their seats don't catch on fire. Above some of those flame-resistant seats, you might see a little black or red triangle. Those triangles actually signify what's nicknamed William Shatner's seat. It's a reference to a 1963 episode of The Twilight Zone, in which Shatner's character sees a gremlin on the wing of the plane. The triangles signal to the crew which windows have the best view of the wings in case a flap malfunctions or to check to see if they've been de-iced. While you're staring at the gremlin on the wing, you might notice a small hole in the window. Usually not a good feature for a window, but necessary in this case. It's called a bleed hole, and it prevents your airplane window from blowing out. That's because the air pressure inside the plane is so much greater than outside, which would cause any normal window to explode. But the windows on an airplane are made up of 3 panes: inner, middle, and outer. The outer pane takes the pressure, the middle acts as a failsafe, and the inner is just there so passengers don't mess with the other 2. The hole also lets moisture escape from the gaps so the windows don't fog up or freeze. If the idea of your window popping out mid-flight causes you stress, just try to keep the shade up anyways. That simple action could give you peace of mind and potentially save your life. Before taking off and landing at night, crews will often dim the cabin lights and ask passengers to open their shades. This is to give their eyes time to adjust to the darkness. In case of evacuation, passengers' eyes will already be acclimated to the blackness outside. If the lights stayed on, their eyes would need time to adjust, and they'd end up wasting precious seconds stumbling blindly instead of quickly evacuating. While joining the Mile High Club might seem like a fun idea, you won't get the kind of privacy you might expect. In fact, a crew member could open the bathroom door at any moment, no matter if you locked it or not. On the outside of most airplane bathroom doors is a little plate that says lavatory, and under that little plate is a latch that unlocks the door from the outside. This allows the crew to access the bathroom in case of an emergency. While you're in the bathroom, you might notice an ashtray. But wait, you think to yourself, I thought it was illegal to smoke on planes. You're right. Smoking on an airplane has been banned on US airlines since the late 1980s and could saddle you with a fine of up to $25,000. Even with the threat of a fine, the Federal Aviation Administration isn't taking chances. It lists ashtrays in bathrooms as legally required to meet the minimum equipment needed for a plane. Trash cans on a plane are mostly filled with flammable materials, like cocktail napkins, so tossing a cigarette butt into one of those would not be good. After all, there are still plenty of things in a plane that aren't covered in flame-resistant material.
Good. So this one is pretty fast, but quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really recall my memories. And by the way, the safety video it shows is from Cafe Pacific.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I feel like what? It's our video.
Did you watch this before when you were still flying?
You mean this
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
No. It's my first time.
but a small part of it that did bring your memory back, right?
Yeah, and some secrets I have no idea. For example, for the sign to show the great the best site for the. Sorry, I have no idea
You
how
mean
to
the
explain.
rear side? The rear.
It is have a small triangle thing. Small triangle.
I mean the black triangle.
Yeah,
That's
that one.
Yeah, that's on the cabin wall.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
has a very cute name. It's a
Yeah.
fairy's name, right? Let's find that. There, because it's been, wait, it's so giant. Let me minimize it a bit. See the triangle, there. It's got a name there. William Shatner seat. So William Shatner is the name of that little, well, in that movie Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And William Shatner's is a gremlin. So gremlin is like a little elf. It's not really a ghost, I think. And that's cute. It's got a name. Right. So well, I didn't know about that either. We didn't know it's named because of it's named after that role in the movie, but it's a fun thing to know. So there are 8 factors. Most of the people don't usually know that existed. And do you know all?
I think most of it. Yeah, most of them I know.
Yeah. So that William Shatner triangle, that is the thing you didn't know. Me either.
Yeah.
Anything
that
else?
one I don't. Yeah, that one I didn't know.
Yeah. Anything else that's new to you?
Nope. Others I should know. I just think
Good.
about a funny story I had because like you know how we just like unlock the laboratory. We can do it from outside, right? So I just think about my personal experience. So it's made me laugh because like
yeah, share with us.
Yeah, because like once after landing, so usually we'll lock the trash, the extra trash, if like our trash being already full. So we would put the trash inside the laboratory. So after landing, I think okay, I think no one inside, only the trash. I should just open the door to take out the trash. And then when I just unlock the door, I find out someone is
in there.
Yeah, it's Captain.
Oh, I see. Is that the business class?
It's in business class. I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they don't usually show up in the economy class.
Yeah, it's in business class. I was like, oh, I'm sorry about it. but his reaction is very quick. He's like holding the door and like because I'm pretty strong. I just want to open the door and he's immediately like hold it back. So it's like we are fighting. I was okay, I'm sorry.
But did you know about it? Did he make a noise when he was resisting your entrance?
Oh yes, yeah, he make a sound and like no, I'm sorry, and like I just leave it and I pretend nothing happened, even though he went out. I pretend it's not me.
But did he mention about this in the briefing?
Oh, he didn't. I'm glad he didn't. I think probably he's on the big business. it will be so embarrassing to mention that, isn't
it? Debriefing, yeah. How do we call that? Maybe, that's a meaning, but I don't know the way you shorten it. But it's kind of like that. It's a debriefing. And so was that the only one?
Basically, yeah, it's sometimes it's happen. You have to like unlock the door from outside. But that was my most embarrassing one. Others is just normal.
But But it's never a pleasant experience entering into the laboratory. Well, I mean, with somebody in there, you accidentally do that, especially when you're on duty to take something out and you think there's no one in there.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think no one should be there. Oh yeah, captain definitely. Because like copy crew, they always like sneaky so quick.
They try not to, they try their best to not be captured by any passengers.
Yeah, I think okay, but it like trash is still because I put a very big baggage of the trash inside. How can he manage that?
Right. Right. So this is, I think the reading in the video is quite fast. And are you interested in learning some words here? You want to go through this, or you want to just continue our chat?
We can also learn something from it.
Yeah. So maybe if you want, you can read this, and then I can highlight those words you need help with.
Sure, totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just make it bigger for you. Is that big enough?
Yeah, it should be okay.
Okay, let me see, you can see all the words or not themselves across. Okay, so that's the right width. Okay, so let's get back from here. Yeah, you can start anytime.
Okay, so this is the bathroom door on an airplane, and it can save your life. Not because it's the only thing standing between you and the guy that ate an airplane burrito before he got on board. It actually has a hidden safety feature. Can you figure it out? In case of an emergency that requires the pilot to land out the water, you'll be grateful for these little yellow hooks. The number and the placement of hooks on each wing vary from plane to plane, but they all do the same thing, help passenger to safety. They are an anchors for ropes, which passenger use to steady and put themselves across the wing, especially during a water landing.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna give you, oops, it doesn't move. Oh, there. There you go. And you know what? It might be a bit too big because you can really see the whole page, right? Yes,
Oh,
17 there.
Okay. The ropes and hooks can also be used to tighten wraps to the plane so they don't float away as passengers board. Let's say your plane is depressurized. You know the drill. Pull down on the mask to extend the tube. Cover your nose and mouth and the yellow cup. And always put on your own mask on first. But wait, why do you have to pull down on the mask? It's not to reach your face. It's actually to start a chemical reaction. There are no oxygen tanks on airplanes. They are just too heavy and bulky to be practical. Instead, the panel above your head contains a chemical oxygen generator. It's a small canister that holds sodium chloride, barium, oh, I have no idea what are those.
Is that on the top, 16?
Okay, barium, peroxide, and a pinch of the potassium.
Where are you now? Oh, there.
Yeah. Wow, the whole sentence I couldn't pronounce.
Yeah, potassium.
Potassium.
And maybe I should, yeah, because those are chemicals.
Yeah.
I will highlight those words for you, and then we can come back later. Okay. There.
And when all of three mix together, like extremely hot chemical reaction that of oxygen. Your seat cushion functions as a flotation device, but do you know it's also fireproof? Let's take this back a few decades. During a 1967 test for the first Apollo moon mission, 3 astronauts were killed when the internal of the capsule caught on fire. An investigation shows that the craft was filled with highly flammable materials, including the foam in the seat cushions. This led NASA to conduct a whole slew of research for a way to cover flammable things with a fire-resistant material?
The 2023.
Okay, so in 1984, the Federal Aviation Administration issued new regulations regarding the flammability of airplane seats. And in fact, it estimates that 20 to 25 lives are saved each year because their seats don't catch on fire. Above some of those flame-resistant seats, you might see a little black or red triangle. Those triangles actually signify what's nicknamed William Shatner seat. It's a reference to a 1963 episode of The Twilight Zone, in which Shatner's character sees a green median on the wing of the plane. The triangle signal to the crew which windows have the best view of the wings in case of flight malfunction, or to check to see if they are being de-iced. While you are starting at the gremlin on the wing, you might notice a small hole in the window. Usually not a good feature for a window, but necessary in this case.
Good, well done. And then just a little bit to go. 31, is it? 31,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. It's called a bleed hole, and it prevents your airplane window from blowing out. Not because the air pressure inside the plane is so much greater than outside, which would cause any normal window to explode. But the windows on an airplane are made of 3 panels.
Panes.
Inner, middle, and outer. The outer pan takes the pressure. The middle acts as a full safe, and the inner is just there so passengers don't mess with the other two. The hole also lets moisture escape from the gaps so the windows don't fog up or freeze. If the idea of your window popping up might cause you to stress, just try to keep the shade up anyways. That simple action could give you peace of mind and potentially save your life.
And
Before
39.
taking,
Yes.
yeah. Before taking off and landing on night, crews will often dim the cabin light and ask passengers to open their shades. This is to give their eyes time to adjust to the darkness. In case of evacuations, passengers' eyes will already be acclimated to the blackness outside. If the night lights stay on, their eyes will need time to adjust and they end up wasting precious seconds stomping blindly instead of quickly evacuation. While joining the Mile High Club might seem like a fun idea, you won't get the kind of privacy you might expect. In fact, a crew member could open their bathroom door at any moment, no matter if you lock it or not. On the outside of most airplane bathroom doors is a little plate that says laboratory. And under that little plate is a latch that unlocks the door from the outside.
Longer than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite long. Okay. This allows the crew to access the bathroom in case of an emergency. While you're in the bathroom, you might notice an ashtray. But wait, you think to yourself, I thought it was illegal to smoke on planes. You're right. Smoking on an airplane has been banned on US airlines in the late 1980s and could saddle you with a fine of up to $25,000. Even with a fine, the Federal Aviation Administration isn't taking chances. It lists ashtrays in bathrooms as legally required to meet the minimum equipment needed for a plane. Trash cans on a plane are mostly filled with flammable materials like cocktail napkins. So tossing a cigarette butt into one of those will not be good. After all, there are still plenty of things in a plant that aren't covered in flame-resistant material. I'm sorry,
I was talking when I was muted. Yeah, I muted myself because I didn't want that ding sound to bother you. Yeah, okay, so back. Well, actually, you did a really, really good job. And this is a super long one. Actually, I wasn't expecting a long reading, honestly. But so let's get back to some words you may need help with. Like first part, that was great. You know, nothing. But here, is this a new word to you?
Should be
Tether.
not that. Oh, tether.
Yeah, but I think probably is because we didn't use this word in aviation industry. We just simply use rope. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
Ooh. Oh, sorry, it's my computer talking. But that's a word that we can still learn from, isn't it? So that's good. So this is a verb. So it's an action to take. It means to hook up.
Yeah.
To tight up. Yeah, and we all know what raft is. And here, this is a word, you know, extend. We don't use extend because T after X is just a similar thing like T after S. So, and the X is very difficult. So, you know, native speakers, they pronounce it in a very lazy way. They use extend. So not too hard. We don't try too hard like extend, but like in a very light way, extend the rope.
Extend the rope.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is not cat. Yeah, chemical.
Chemical.
Yeah, you know, you're good at that sound. That is the ah sound. 蝴蝶音. 99.9% of Taiwanese people cannot pronounce that, but you can. So you do it too well. Yeah, I just need to go back to it when you see chemical. And this is not heavy, heavy. Yes, heavy. Right, and those are the words that really bother those are the words that really bother us a bit, and that is not the right one, because you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 6 to 7 words, but what we need is really just this one, 氯酸盐. Yeah, so let's listen to the word.
Chlorate end of rose highlighter annotation.
It's telling us to, it's a very long one, so let's go to here. I like to cover them all, then because you are learning new words here, you know, so let's put it to the, where is that? Here. Honestly, when we were flying, we didn't have to learn all these chemical terms, do we?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not the word we need here. We just need those chemical terms. That good. So right, so this one, oh, it doesn't show. Oh, you know what? I pasted in the wrong place. Just a second. Should be there. Oh, by the way, this is not the last hour. You still have another hour. Are you planning to join the next hour lesson?
I can do that.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly let you go. Maybe we just need to cover these few words. They're quite new to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to show you the pronunciation, but it doesn't seem to read. Maybe it's because of that. Just give me a second. Right, so the first one.
Chlorate, barium peroxide, potassium perchlorate.
So there are 5. And oops, sorry. So because we're not learning chemical terms in this lesson, so these are just preference, but I have got them covered here on this list. So hopefully that will be a little help to you, right? And by the way, actually, you know, you didn't make loads of mistakes, but just I still like to remind you to focus on those little things that can make your English perfect, because you're really good at already, and you just want yourself to be even better, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so those things that really don't bother others, but they seem to bother you a bit. I mean, probably they don't, but just try to make your pronunciation even better. Yeah, and they're like this one, interior, and this is cushion, and that's lead. So it's not lead, but lead. Lead, lead, lead.
Sorry again. You mean
Can
cushion?
you see it? Can you
You
see it?
say, yes. Do you say cushion?
This, I'll let American read it for you.
Cushion.
So it's not caution. So not cushion or caution, but it's in between. It's cushion.
Oh, cushion.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so it's similar thing because the pronunciation in the States and in the UK is slightly different. Yeah, like
Okay.
here we say cushion, but they say it this way, cushion.
Cushion.
So but not
Cushion.
yeah,
Cushion.
right. And this one is twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's a movie. Did you watch that?
Yes, I did.
I didn't. I know it's something to do with handsome vampire.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like fascinating with it, but not me. I'm not a fan.
Good-looking guys are always nice to see. Right, and this one, staring.
Oh, staring.
Yeah, because it probably was just a fast reading. Yeah, and this is gremlin.
Screaming. Again?
You see it? Gremlin.
Screaming.
Maybe that can show you. It doesn't show.
Screaming. Okay.
Gremlin. All right, so it doesn't show that word for you there. There, you see that? Gremlin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gremlin.
but it's a extremely rare word, so no need to really memorize it.
All right.
Right, and that one is cause. Yeah,
Cause.
something cause something, something triggers something. So that's cause. Can it-
Cause.
Okay, it doesn't. This way. Yeah. So that is to trigger, to cause, to make something happen. And that's pain.
Pain.
Yeah, it sounds like that word, pain, you know, the pain we're suffering. The same sound, but different word.
Oh, pain.
There.
Oh,
Sorry, can I go down a bit? Maybe that way I can show you the whole thing. There. There. So it's like the frame,
okay.
like a window, something like that. Yeah. But the same sound of the pain we're taking physically. Yeah. And that one, fail.
Fail.
Yeah, fail. No, it's not that. Wait, fail. Ah, okay, it doesn't come out, but it's a simple word for you, you know that. And this is mid-flight.
Mid-flight.
Yeah, I know you read too fast, that's why you know this word. Yeah. And can you read this word? It's original from here and stops at the T.
Acclimate.
Acclimate.
Oh, acclimate. Ah,
Yeah,
acclimate.
the stress is A, acclimate. And if
Acclimate.
it's a long one is acclamation. It will be T-I-O-N. So it's acclimate. Yeah, this is the word.
Acclimate.
This is the sound you're good at. The
Acclimate.
yeah, acclimate. Yeah. So it means to adjust, to adapt to. So that might be a good word to memorize. Let's put it there.
Yeah.
And that's plate. This one.
Plate.
Yeah, plate. Yeah, but you did it
Plate.
99% right, so nothing to be picky for. And latch.
Latch.
Yeah, this is what you're good at, the A thing. And that's which one? Okay, this one. Threat.
Threat.
Yeah, threat. Great. This
Threat.
one, federal.
Federal.
And the D and the R, sometimes American would put them together, federal.
Federal. Oh,
So
federal.
there are
Okay.
two ways to read it, but most of the people, they say federal. Yeah, but
Okay.
sometimes you hear federal because D and the R together.
Oh.
Yeah. But I personally like federal better than federal.
It's a British way.
That I won't say that is the wrong one because I did hear people read it that way, but I don't like that. I like federal. That is
federal.
more, Yeah, that you also hear that from CNN, from BBC, those news reporters, they say FDA, federal something, right? And this is the
Yeah.
same. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. So you see, you did it quite well. Not really finding many awkward sounds this time, but just a small reminder of that A and the E. Then you did it, I'll say A+. Really good. And so probably the best word today is this, acclimate.
Acclimate.
Yeah, so good. That's it. And I always enjoy my chat with you because, you know, you are the only one here I can share the flying memory and experiences with. So you will start to see, to feel something, you know, this is the withdrawal. The withdrawal, how do we call that? Is like when you smoke or when you take, well, I know you don't either, but I mean, when people, they take drugs, but suddenly when they stop, they have that withdrawal symptom. So I don't know how to translate withdrawal symptom. Withdraw withdrawal symptom. No, I don't think that's but it's you know what I mean is when you suddenly stop something you always do, you have that withdrawal symptom. Yeah, like when you always smoke and suddenly you have to quit it and you feel like anxious and physically sweating and very nervous and very, very hyperly stressed. That is the withdrawal symptom. So maybe flying would be kind of the same, you know, you suddenly, your wings are suddenly pulled and you're anchored on the ground. So you probably will have that for a while. So that's a lot of flight attendants experience, and I hope it won't happen to you. So just mind you, be aware of it.
I think it will happen if I have a job. Probably I will miss my flying days because it would be so different.
Yeah, you made a point. When you're very occupied, very busy, then you won't have time to think about the past too much.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so I'll let you go. And if you still want to join the next hour, feel free. Or maybe you could take a short break and then go back in. All right.
Sure.
And I enjoyed my chat with you tonight, and I'll look forward to
Thank
seeing you
you.
soon again. All right. See you next time.
See you next
Bye.
time. Goodbye.
Bye.